Hey guys, I think even the word disappointment doesn't cut it for today's World Cup final loss. Yes, you know that I'm talking about the Indian cricket team's loss to a dominant Australia once again. And where have we heard this before, man? Six-time world champions. Congratulations to the Aussies. Um, Truly speaking, it was not just incredible from the Aussies, it was also there was a certain air of inevitability to their wing. Um, whether we like it or not, it always felt that they were ready to seize on the big moments, and they knew even before the big moment was coming on, and that they were switched on for the occasion. Yeah, I'm I'm super disappointed. Um, but anyways, recap of the game: India were put into bat by Pat Cummins um, in the afternoon, which on a dry and used pitch, uh, which at the time might have felt like it played into India's hands, but actually, that was the history of the venue, where batting did get better as the night lights shone and the dew came out. And no matter how many sprays you use to make the dew not appear, usually it doesn't work. Even a little bit is enough to make the ball skid on better to the bat, and that's what's been happening in these games. India attacked in the power play really well once again. Shuman Gill was a flop show. Um, Perhaps he got overawed by the occasion. Maybe he wasn't getting enough strike in the first couple of overs, um, but he did appear out of sorts. Anyhow, Rohit and Virat Kohli did not let it feel that way, and they powered along to 80 in the 10th over before Rohit Sharma did something, in my opinion, was certainly selfless. But in this, and with the benefit of hindsight, maybe he should have been a little more selfish. I'll explain why I say this. He had already hit a 6 and a 4 in the previous balls. This was the 10th over of the power play, being bowled by Glenn Maxwell, off spinner. He could have easily maybe tapped the ball away and let Virat Kohli do the next attacking shot, or he could have just driven it out for a couple of runs. There was really nobody on the offside boundary. He wanted to take maximum advantage of the power play restrictions, and that eagerness to attack, which has served India and Rohit Sharma really well over the entire tournament, today was probably found wanting. This is probably because Rohit Sharma was definitely India's best batsman off spin in the entire lineup. And I say this in the presence of Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Sky. They are none of them is as good against spin, as traditional spin, as Rohit Sharma is. This Rohit Sharma is time and again demonstrated on very hard to play pitches in Test cricket, where he scores these ridiculous attacking centuries and really sets, not only just sets the tone, he also scores a lot of part of India's totals in these matches, which win those test matches for India. So perhaps there was something here where he should have probably shelved a little, for a little while, his attacking instincts to just, you know, play a couple balls out. He had already got 10 runs for the over. He could have got 12 to 14 maybe not much more, and that's fine. um, 80 for 1 sounds much better than 80 for 3, which is exactly what happened after he got out to a most stunning catch by Travis Head. Definitely, I think I agree with everyone who says that that catch immediately reminded them of Kapil Dev's magical catch of the 1983 final. It was equally, if not even more spectacular. Head really ran in a curve and never let his eyes off the ball. And despite being a short heighted man, he really put in a full length dive and came up with the ball in his left hand and did not drop it even when it touched the ground. So his catching technique there was exemplary. So did Rohit Sharma need to play that shot at that time? Well, he lived by the sword and died by the sword, but probably at this point of time, the sword needed a little bit of sheathing, yeah. So, anyways, after this, Shreyas Iyer got out quickly. Then Virat and KL Rahul came together and had to make a decision. The decision was to stay conservative and hold on to their wickets for dear life. They held on for almost 15, 16 overs, but they had no boundaries between them. In fact, after over number 10, there were just 4 more boundaries between overs 11 to 50 for India. This is unbelievable. This is the amount of control that the Aussie bowlers had over Indian batters. And also probably displays the lack of intent. ये तो बहुत बड़ा word है in Indian cricket circles. Very well known. Virat Kohli lived and died by it, and here Virat Kohli was performing his role to perfection. Probably he did get unlucky. Um, and KL Rahul also read the situation, but I would say that one of the two might have had to take more risks. But I also understand why they didn't take risks. So I'll get back to that later. So once Virat got out, KL Rahul soon found himself at the mercy of an amazing reverse swinging delivery from Mitchell Stark. Today, even reverse swing was seen because the pitch was so scruffed up and the ball was really looking really dark by the time of the 36th, 37th overs. Sky, who had been taken into the team for his so called adeptness at playing the big game situation, the the ideal big match player apparently. He really did nothing. He couldn't or he didn't, whatever, but it wasn't to be his day. And soon we started having to bat out the 50 overs to not lose any more face, and we did, which was good. They fought till the very end. They made 240. Definitely not a challenging score, but India had defended a score of 230, albeit against a very weak England attack. So out came the bowlers, everything riding on them, and they swung the ball. अहमदाबाद में इतना swing नहीं होता है, and lights or no lights, but Bumrah and Shami showed their amazing skill and precision. They swung the ball, but here again, there was a tactical miss, I think. I'm not sure if all the experts agree, but perhaps here they should have stuck to their original plan of getting Mohammad Siraj to start with the new ball, because apparently he has slightly better control with the new ball, which is why India's plan A was always to have Bumrah and Siraj bowl together with the new ball. Apparently Shami doesn't really bowl that well with a absolutely brand new ball, which was somewhat found out today looking at how many wides they gave away and how exuberantly it swung. Anyways, they do get 3 wickets. The last of which wouldn't have been if Steven Smith had reviewed the LBW decision given against him. After that, the ball still was talking for a couple overs, during which Travis Head played and missed multiple times. The ball almost touched the bat and the stumps and missed everything at least 3 times in his innings. So he really had the luck factor going for him today. And he definitely was the guy who was going to be crucial for this, because he's already done it in a big match situation. Remember the WTC final in June? He's the guy who beat us. So once he got through the difficult phase, Dew came on, and no matter what any of Kuldeep or Jadeja spun, and no matter what Bumrah and Shami did, they never broke through, except for perhaps one moment where, in my opinion, Marnus Labuschagne was absolutely plumb, and the English umpire didn't give him out. When we saw the ball tracking was showing umpire's call. However, this umpire's call was deemed to be umpire's call because the ball was touching just less than 50% of the ball. But if you see it in real time, जो tracking वाला होता है, if you see that video, if that ball is actually bowled the way the tracker shows it, of course the batsman is bowled, and therefore he should be LBW. I think the DRS had it like 49% of the ball is hitting the stump, and that's what made it umpire's call. Whereas in the end, if you look at it, it would seem definitely out. So Marnus Labuschagne escaped, and Bumrah could not produce any further magic balls, neither did Shami, and Travis Head went on his merry way to make the Indian bowlers pay, and had the final say. He did get out for 139, 137 I think, but the damage was done long before. Glenn Maxwell came in and just hit the formalities. So Australia's 6th time champion again, and nobody knows now how to be champion unless you be England and tweak the rules in your favor. So playing with fair rules, let's come to what India could have done tactically better. So number one, I think India erred with selection. For the tournament as well as for this game. So let's talk of this game at least, because that's what's at hand. I see 2 people who should have played this game, just tactics point of view. 1, Ashwin should have played instead of Siraj, and 2, Ishan Kishan should have played instead of Sky. Now I'll give my reasons. For number 1, Ashwin would have been a game-changing plan against the left-hand batters of Australia. We all know the hold he has over Aussie batsmen and his mastery of his art. You needed a past master to deal in this situation, and Ashwin has a very cool head, doesn't let any hanky-panky get to him, and ultimately India didn't really inspire much confidence in Siraj. They actually bowled him after Kuldeep and Jadeja also. So they bowled him basically as their number 5 bowler of the day, which means they didn't have much confidence in Siraj's bowling from the get-go. Because if there was, then he would have just bowled right from the start. which means he was not among India's top 3 bowlers for sure. So, if that's the case, then why was he playing? So, this is a tough question. Now, I have heard the explanation being given as, oh, you can't play a one day game without 3 fast bowlers. Well, maybe on other pitches, but not on this pitch. This pitch was a turning pitch, spinning pitch, and even if it had a little bit of turn, Ashwin would have made sure that that little bit of turn was more than enough to get the Aussie wickets, especially left-handers against whom he is so good. He would have been good against Travis Head. He would have been good against Marnus Labuschagne and Steven Smith also, because he has a mental stranglehold over them for a long time. And you needed a champion to bowl in such a situation. You didn't show confidence in Siraj. And so if Siraj was not good enough according to you to bowl number 1 or number 2 maybe, but so which means he shouldn't have been in your team. Simple as that. He took 6 wickets against Sri Lanka. That doesn't count. That was Sri Lanka. Super weak team. He's an honest trier, but even he would have been the first to say that yes, you play horses for courses. This course demanded Ashwin. India has made this mistake before and been penalized by losing the World Test Championship final when they did not play Ashwin. You had him in the team, या तो team में ना रखते. You thought that you would need him, but you needed him in only one Chennai game, and then you didn't play him in the rest of the tournament. Even on spinning tracks, even on a track like Lucknow. अब ठीक है, वहाँ swing करा के शामी ने करा दिया, but in the end, that was just papering over some weaknesses. And this was a major weakness which was exploited today. Number 2, Ishan Kishan for Sky. Now, Sky was a punt which had been taken by the team management saying that nahi, this guy is a big match player, big game temperament, falana dimkana. Well, the numbers were there to show कि he doesn't do that well in one dayers. लेकिन all this had zero interpretation or importance for the Indian team management. उनको लगा नहीं हमें स्काई के टैटू बहुत पसंद है, हम करेंगे, स्काई को ही खिलाएंगे. ठीक है, खिलाओ. He did well in a couple games, but mostly he didn't do well. This is in contrast, and Sky also was not part of the original team plan for India. It is only after Hardik Pandya got injured that Shami and Sky both got a look in, and Shami of course delivered spectacularly. Lekin where Shami delivered, Sky did not deliver that much, sorry to say. So you have a left-hand batter in your squad who's a very attacking batter, who also happens to have a ODI double 100, Ishan Kishan, super young guy, more importantly bats with the carefree audacity of youth. उसको कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, 1% फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा, बॉल मारने वाली होगी वो ज़रूर मारेगा. In that way, he is very much like his contemporary Rishabh Pant, who was sorely missed today. Imagine the consequences of that one night of his driving down to meet his mother. आज इंडिया वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल नहीं जीती है because they did not have a player with the intent and the capabilities that Rishabh Pant had. उसका replacement था भी, Ishan Kishan tha, they could have played him but they didn't, and in the limited matches that he got, he really did play well. This was one game that Ishan Kishan should have played, not Sky. It would have broken up the tediousness of India's right hand left hand combination, which was again found out when the Indian team management sent Jadeja ahead of Sky. Now, why did they do that? They felt that Sky का रोल डिफाइंड है. अरे रोल डिफाइंड नहीं है. They did not have confidence कि स्काई काम कर सकता है. इतना भी क्या सुपर स्पेशलाइजेशन है that nahi, Sky can only play this many sort of balls. Well, even if he did, he really didn't do much with those balls. He took the wrong attacking shots, which displayed his not coming to grips truly with the ODI format. तो उसके लिए गेम्स खेले हुए होने चाहिए. उसके लिए यू हैव टू हैव अ माइंडसेट एज केयरफ्री एंड अटैकिंग एज somebody like ईशान किशन does, who is definitely, I would have said, the natural successor for ऋषभ पंत. if ऋषभ पंत नहीं है, ईशान किशन था, आपको उसको खिलाना चाहिए था. ईशान किशन would have been your X factor, not Sky. Unfortunately, India's successes papered over this weakness again. एंड आपको ये फाइनल में रिवील हुआ वीकनेस जो पहले नहीं दिख रहा था. और जब आप जीतते हो तो देन यू कैनॉट टेक फीडबैक होता नहीं, तो आप कुछ उसको कर नहीं सकते, इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं कर सकते. सो इन लाइट ऑफ ऑल ऑफ दैट, इट वॉज अ बिग कॉल टू से शुड वी चेंज द सिलेक्शन फॉर द मैच, एंड अल्टीमेटली दे डिडंट. इज not changing a winning combination a brave call, or is changing a winning combination a brave call? Playing horses for courses. मेरे हिसाब से Australia made all the right calls. They backed the players, and when they backed the players, those players delivered. India backed the players, but not all the players delivered. Some players delivered. KL Rahul delivered, Kohli delivered, Shami delivered, but not all. Sky did not deliver on his promise. Mohammad Siraj did not deliver. Kuldeep was also bowling really well, but again, the one time he beat the bat and induced an edge, there was no slip waiting to take the catch. The catch would have been a dolly catch. But if you don't have an attacking mindset, this is what happens. You don't have slip fielders. You lose out on chances. In such matches, you have to create chances. So this is again where Rohit Sharma could have had slightly better tactics. And we say कि रोहित शर्मा से better tactics कोई इंडिया में नहीं कर सकता. I think that is a fallacy. I think विराट कोहली से better tactics किसी का नहीं है. He was very attacking mindset, and finding the next captain with such similar attacking mindset is going to be very challenging for Indian cricket to move forward. So all in all, क्या conditions से इंडिया हार गई? Sure. But could they have done better? I really do think that. But anyways, can't help it. Congratulations to Australia. कर दिखाया उन्होंने. मैंने तो लोगों को बोला था कि नहीं, इंडिया इज़ ऑन दिस अनबीटन रन, सब ठीक होगा. But I think my positive vibes maybe did not reach them. But it wasn't at least a shameful defeat. It was embarrassing, a little bit maybe disappointing, but it wasn't shameful. So I think Indian team can still head back with their heads held high. They've had a wonderful tournament. आज का दिन नहीं चाहिए था मेल्ट डाउन के लिए, लेकिन ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मेटल शोड थ्रू. दिस इज़ व्हाट वी नीड to become world beaters. And I don't agree with this best of 3 फाइनल होना चाहिए, ऐसे होना चाहिए, वैसा होना चाहिए. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. नॉकआउट मैच इज़ नॉकआउट मैच. सबको पहले से पता होता है नॉकआउट मैच है. ऐसे तो बेस्ट ऑफ 3 सेमीफाइनल भी कर लो, क्वार्टर फाइनल भी कर लो, दुनिया में ज़िंदगी भर खेलते रहना, नहीं मिलेगा एक विनर भी. तो ऐसे नहीं होता. पीपल नो द स्टेक्स दैट आर एट रिस्क. जो था सो था. ऑस्ट्रेलिया वॉज अ बेटर टीम ऑन द डे. India paid for their selection blunders. India paid for their tactical blunders with the greatest price of them all. दे कैन नॉट बी अनॉइंटेड वर्ल्ड कप चैम्पियंस। नेक्स्ट वर्ल्ड कप 2027 में है, साउथ अफ्रीका। उससे पहले T20 वर्ल्ड कप्स है, वहाँ भी मेरे हिसाब से इंडियन टीम को डिसअपॉइंटमेंट के अलावा कुछ नहीं मिलेगा। आई होप दे कैन प्रूव मी रॉन्ग। सो साइनिंग ऑफ, द क्रिकेट डॉक्टर, until next time, ciao.